So some of you may remember in one of my previous vlogs, go check that out if you haven't, by the way. I mentioned and showcased a venue I was thinking of hosting my event at in October. We spent a lot of time making promotional materials. I was actually in charge of most of this. So I made a lot of artwork, flyers, and stuff like that. And one of the things I made was a really cool project, and I wanted to show you guys what that was today. So originally our plan was to have just a Gravity Falls themed event because we were really big fans of the show and we wanted to do an event for that. However, we didn't know how big the fan base would be over here. We know it's a big show, but we didn't know for sure. And so we wanted to find a way to add more interest and make people want to come more. And so I came up with the name Toonmageddon. So this is a reference to the final few episodes of Gravity Falls, if you know that. So our storyline, quote unquote, is gonna be like Bill Cipher actually ended up succeeding in his weird Mageddon plan, and he ended up taking over the third dimension, and now it's infecting other cartoons. So this could be a way for us to have a reason why there's other people in this universe, like other franchises like regular show and stuff like that. And I thought this was a really cool way to get more people involved and actually want to come attend our event. And also, we just don't see too many cartoon events. A lot of them are anime related these days. So yeah, we wanted to do a cartoon event, and we think this is really cool. In the future, if we ever do this again, we could do like a different show and have like Bill Cipher's invading Adventure Time and do all Adventure Time stuff. So yeah, this is a really cool thing that I think we're doing. And so we wanted to have a raffle prize for everyone, and I decided that I really wanted to do kind of like a nod to the Gravity Falls journals and make my own DIY great value version of this. So kind of like the journals in Gravity Falls, this one would be Bill going through and finding different creatures from different universes. So I created some artwork for Aku from Samurai Jack or the Lich from Adventure Time. And I did a lot. I did almost I think 15 characters, and then I commissioned another friend to do a couple more. And since our event is taking place in October, I figured we'd focus more on villain cartoons. This one is still a one-time event. We're still figuring everything out, and I honestly think these came out really good. I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, I want to show you guys what these look like, how I made them, and yeah, let's just get right to it. So I ended up making 3 for the event, 2 for the raffle prizes, and 1 for the cosplay contest that we plan to have. So all credit goes to this video right here on how I actually made the book itself. So I'm gonna go over just a quick overview of how I made it and stuff, but if you want a more in-depth video, please go check them out and support them. So yeah, before you start, you're gonna need a few things. You're gonna need 1 hammer or mallet, a hole puncher, elastic bands or cords, some genuine leather for crafting, something to mark with, scissors, a ruler, and I would recommend a small cutting board or cardboard to put under. That way you don't actually damage anything, but I'll put more on that soon. So first you want to mark where you're going to actually make your holes at. I used the ruler to help me find the middle and then just go out from there. I chose to do 2 holes at the top and the bottom, and then 1 hole in the direct middle of the leather. You don't have to do it this way. I know some people do it with just 1 hole on the top and bottom, but you for sure need the one in the middle, and I'll show you why at the end. The next step is a little tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. The next step is pretty simple. You just put on the hole punchers on where you mark the holes, and then you just hammer them in until it goes all the way through. This could be a little tough at first, especially the ones I had. They kind of hurt to put the grip on, and I kind of hit myself with the hammer a couple times, not too many times. And also, I should mention, everything that I got was from Amazon, so you can just go on there. And this is also why I chose to get a cutting board to put under, because I didn't want to hit the wood on my floor. And you want to really make sure that the hole you make, mine came in different sizes, so the one I chose, I had to make sure that the elastic cords could actually go through them. So just double check before you start hammering any holes that is big enough for the elastic to go through. After that, you need to start wrapping your band through the holes. You want to make a knot near the bottom. At least that's my preference. You don't have to put it in a specific spot, but I like it at the bottom. I recommend starting in the same spot you want to put the knot at. That way it's just a little bit easier. I recommend making the elastic band a little bit bigger. That way you can always just cut it down shorter if you need to. After that, you do the same thing on the other side, and you should end up with 2 bands running down the middle of the journal. And then the last step you do is pretty simple to make this. You just got to wrap a band around the book while it's closed. That way you know how big it is. And then you just tie it off at the end. And then after that, you push the end that's not tied through the middle, and you put it all the way until it hits the knot that you made. And then it should stay still, and then you can just wrap it around the band whenever you want to close it. And yeah, it should end up looking something like this. I did this kind of off camera, but pretty much I just printed out my pages of my book. It was a little tricky measuring and making sure that it fit properly. I had to make sure that the pages were flipped the right way because I didn't want them to be, flop-sided whenever you flip it around. But yeah, after I printed out all my papers, I just cut them down to size and put them in the book. So here's my final product. So like I said earlier, this did take a lot of time. I did have to draw about 15 characters for this book. I also had to research some of them because I didn't know every character that I was going to do. So yeah, this took a while, and also special thanks to my mutual friend who helped me draw a couple of the characters. It made it go by a little bit easier. And although our main show this time was Gravity Falls, it was really fun to draw some of my childhood characters. One of my favorites was Father from Kids Next Door. I grew up watching that show a lot, and it was kind of fun reminiscing, doing all this stuff. Also, Adventure Time, I used to watch that back in the day a lot. Samurai Jack was also a big one. So yeah, it was really cool drawing these characters, and I really hope we do this again next year so I could draw even more. It was also pretty cool because I did do some Gravity Falls characters, but I wanted to do them in my art style. So it was kind of fun. They're very cartoonish, their proportions are very crazy, and that's not how I draw them. So it was pretty cool turning like Dipper and Mabel into making them look like normal humans, kind of like how I draw. So yeah, that was really cool challenge to do, as well as just drawing them for fun. But overall, I think these came out really cool, and I really hope the raffle prize winners will enjoy these as well. Before I end us out, I wanted to remind y'all my event is October 11th in Louisville, Texas. You guys can follow our event account on Instagram right here if you want to learn more. And you can also follow me on Instagram, my own page right here as well. If you guys are in the area, please, we would love to see y'all. It'd be really cool to pull up, and it's a free event to attend, so you don't have to worry about that. My next video will most likely just be me vlogging the event, so keep an eye out for that. It should be really fun. We plan on having a backdrop and standees. I actually have them in already. I just have to build them, so that should be really fun for you guys to take photos and stuff like that. But yeah, my next video will most likely be me just vlogging the event, and I'm really excited. I hope to see you guys there, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.